as see if you could, the focus will be on trying to extend your exhalations. So your exhalations are longer than your inhale. It improves the heart rate variability. We'll also try and slow down the breath to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, basically your stress release. It'll help release some good hormones or feel-good hormones such as serotonin and dopamine. As well as the focus will be on diaphragmatic breathing versus the thoracic. Again, this is all about calming the nervous system, and then the meditation would be to help with your focus, concentration, basically improving your immune response. So I invite you to either stand or sit down, sit on the floor, sit on a chair, with your eyes open or closed. Let's focus our awareness on the space around you. Open your sensations and feel your mouth, the sensation from your nose as you breathe in and out. Sensation from your eyes, your eyelids, top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, can you scan your body? Scan your body from the soles of your feet all the way up to the crown of your head. From the crown of your head back down to the soles of your feet. Welcome anything that's calling your attention right now. Welcome any thoughts, feelings, or emotions. And as you welcome these thoughts, feelings, emotions, or sensations, can you bring in an inner resource? A feeling of being calm or safe. See if you can bring that into your body. Can you perhaps nourish that feeling, that inner resource of well-being, of safety, and feeling calm throughout your cells, nourishing your cells with that feeling of well-being? Particularly important during this time of the pandemic when our nervous systems are probably a little bit more wired. So if we can just nourish that well-being and activate that rest and relaxation response. This will help your immune system, help with coping and overreactivity. I invite you to bring awareness to your breathing. As you take an inhale, your diaphragm expands. As you take an exhale, your diaphragm contracts. Can you slow down your breathing? Inhale, exhalation, diaphragm expands. Exhale, belly to your spine. Let's inhale for perhaps 2 counts or 3 counts, whatever feels comfortable in your body right now. And see if we can expand our exhalations so it's slightly longer than our inhalations. Research has shown that those whose exhalations are longer than their inhalations are healthier.
There you go. Huh.
So if we can try and build these breathing habits to help with our immune system. Slow down and extend the exhalations, breathing through your nose. Inhale. Exhale. Again, extending the exhalations. And perhaps at this point, can you hold for 1 or 2 seconds after you exhale?
Where are you, Mary?
Start the inhalation. And
What goes on here?
exhale. Seeing if you could suspend your breath after the exhale.
Yeah, how about that?
And when you're ready, just notice how you feel. As you come back to your regular breath without counting or extending the exhalation, just notice how you feel. And when you're ready, I invite you to open and close your eyes. Open and close your eyes. As we move into our movement practice. Again, thank you for joining. We're going to start with some shoulder rolls. So if you can, rotate your shoulders forward. Inhale and exhale, rotate your shoulders forward and back. 3, 4, and 5. Now let's rotate your shoulders backwards. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5.
This is yoga.
Now let's swing our arms forward and back. There's a doctor I follow, Dr. Sinatra, he's a cardiologist, and he recommends doing about 100 of these daily. He basically says it opens up your thoracic duct, which helps with detoxification. We don't have time to do 100, but let's just do maybe another 10 or 15 swings back and forth, swinging your arms back and forth. Perhaps let's bring in some squats to your swinging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Swing our arms and slow down. And notice how you feel. From here, let's shake up and down and see if you can just release any tension that you have in your body. May look a little awkward, but it's very, very good. Ground your feet to the earth. Perhaps shake to the right and shake to the left. Do some circles. Whatever feels good in your body right now. Bring your arms around. Rotate your hips. Slow down. And release. If you have a yoga mat, I invite you to stand at the top of your mat. If you don't, that's okay too. My mat's vertical just so that you can see my feet a little bit better. So I invite you to bring your right leg back with your hips, your legs hip distance apart. Your feet, your back foot is about at a 45-degree angle. See if you can keep your spine straight and long. And we're moving into Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale and bring both arms up. Relax your shoulders and bend your left knee, lining that with your second toe next to your big toe. See if you can keep your back leg straight. Relax your lower back. Keep the natural curve of your spine. Let's inhale, exhale, bring your arms back to your side and bring your knees and straighten your knees. With a straight spine, take an inhalation and bring both arms into a cactus pose. So your shoulders are lined up with your shoulder, your elbows are lined up with your shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, straighten your left knee. Exhale, bring both arms back to your side. Let's try that once more. Inhale, bring your arms to a cactus position. Exhale, bend your left knee, your front knee. Inhale, bring your knee back and straighten that. And exhale, bring both arms back to your side. Let's do a couple more on your own. Again, it's not how fast or how slow you do this. It's just see if you can move to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, arms into a cactus position. Exhale, bend your knees, your front knee. Inhale, knee comes back to straight position. And exhale, arms back to your side. Inhale, arms into a cactus position. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, straighten your knees. And exhale, arms to your side. Now let's interlace our fingers behind us and come into a back extension. See if you can just release your shoulders. Take an inhale and an exhalation. And let's join our right foot to meet our left for the other side. Take your left foot back. Your foot is at about a 45-degree. Bring your body so it's facing the front. So you're squaring your body to the front of the wall or just a space in front of you. Let's move into warrior one. Inhale, bring both arms up as we bend our right knee. Let's take a few breaths in place. Palms face each other. Back leg is straight and lined up. Inhale and exhale. Both arms back to our side, straighten your knee. Dynamic warrior one. Inhale. Let's bring our arms to a cactus position. Exhale. Bend your right knee. Inhale. Knee straightens. And exhale. Arms back at your side. Couple more. Inhale, back to a cactus position. Exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, straighten your front knee. And exhale, back to arms on your side. Again, let's just move with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, knee comes back. And exhale, back to arms on your side. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, knee bent. Inhale, knee comes straight. And exhale, arms on your side. Let's interlace our fingers for a back bend. Again, we're extending the front of our body. Let's join our left foot to our right as we do just a couple more stretches for the arms and the front body. Swing your arms out and up, lift your heels. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, arms back down to your side. Inhale, extend the arms to the side. And exhale, bring both arms back down. One last round. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Hands parallel to each other. And exhale, sweep both arms to our side. One last round, sweep your arms out. Palms together to a prayer position and hands to our heart. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Mary Jo. Thanks for that practice. Some of us might have our audio on. I invite you to just mute your audio if you do have your audio on, or notice the silence and be with the silence. So it's a 50-minute practice. Thanks for joining us today. We'll start with some neck and shoulder exercises as well. So we're going to come into an upper trapezius stretch. So I invite you to take the back of the left hand to the kidney, the tip of the right finger to the very tip of the left ear, and draw the right ear towards right shoulder. It'll be the opposite of what I'm doing. But take a nourishing breath in through the tip of the nose, coming back to the breath. See if you can breathe in and out of the nose through the entire practice. Just release any tension in the neck here. We've hold a lot of stress and tension, of course, in our shoulders, in our jaw. And then give yourself a nice self-massage as we move, pressing firmly down the neck. Hand comes down through the midline. As we take the back of the hand, moving with grace to the kidney, the tip of the finger to the opposite ear, drawing the left ear towards left shoulder. Upper trapezius stretch. That's the conceptual part. See if you can come into the perceptual part, the sensations in the body, just noting where that's feeling as we lengthen the side neck muscle. Inhale a nourishing breath, perhaps lowering the right shoulder a little further towards the floor, deepening into the stretch. As you press firmly down through the nape of the neck, down through the side neck muscles, give yourself a nice release. As we come to circle the hips, the largest joint in the body, the ball and socket joint of the hip. It's quite a simple joint compared to the shoulder. It's like basically a big ball going into the inside of a globe, inside of a sphere. Shoulder is way more complex with the acromion bone and a lot of ligaments, of course the rotator cuff muscles. Then in the opposite direction a few times. Nourishing breath through the tip of the nose. Come back to the breath. Let the breath guide your practice. So now I want you to just challenge yourself, but don't strain yourself. So if there's any pain, I invite you to back off immediately. Any sharp tingling or radiating pain, just back off and skip the practice. And then isolate the movement just to the lower back. So imagine drawing a circle between your feet with your tailbone. So you loosen up the lower back. We're articulating the lower back, the hip flexors, sending synovial fluid into the joints, and then in the opposite direction. See if you can isolate the movement, even closing the eyes perhaps, and imagine drawing a circle between your feet with your tailbone. Begin to take the arms back, swimming almost like you're doing the backstroke. The arms not coming up too high, just past at the head height, top of the head. Begin to transition the weight, moving the weight through the hips, all the way through the legs. Should feel pretty good, huh? Then in the opposite direction a few times. There's no hurry. Moving the hips, shoulders. It's a class here for all ages, all stage of our lives. We want to be able to do this practice all through our lives. So I applaud you for knowing your own bodies and just backing off at any point if it becomes too strenuous for you today, doing the best with what you have. Left hand comes, I'll mirror you, so the right hand comes down through the midline, the left hand raises up. So as the arm comes up to the heavens, the eye of the palm, I'll step back a little bit so you get a better look at the full extension of the arm. The eye of the palm goes up to the heavens, the eye of the palm heads down to the earth. Inhaling as we raise the arm. Exhaling as the hand comes down. Slight bend in the knees here. Moving with grace. Think about the top athletes in their field. Right? There's a certain ease in the way they play their game. Think of Roger Federer, he moves effortlessly. And Qigong really is about this effortless power. Think of Muhammad Ali in the ring. He moved with a lot of grace. See Mick Fanning in surfing. Think of those athletes and notice there's this ease within effort. Sthira Sukha Asanam, finding steadiness within effort in Sanskrit. The stork spreads its wings. As we rotate through the hips now, slight axial rotation, twisting as we send the arm up to the heavens and the eye of the palm, an energy gateway down into the earth. Think about releasing trapped and stagnant energy. The root, really, of all disease, these blockages that happen, stagnation in the system. As we come to spinal cord breathing, make a firm fist and draw the elbows together. And then the hands unfurl, fingers unfurl, chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger. Bending at the knees, I invite you to draw the elbows together, making a firm fist. Inhaling, fingers unfurl, toes right, spread the toes wide. So the balls of the feet are off the earth and the toes are spread wide. Then place the wide spread toes back down as you make a firm fist.
Yeah.
So I invite you to mute the audio. If you note that there's some of us still with our audio on.
Oh, here, let me fix it for you.
Inhaling through the tip of the nose.
Yeah.
Exhaling as the elbows come together, firm fist. I invite you to twist as you open the fingers wide, making a fist coming back to the midline. Turning in the opposite direction, fingers unfurl, shoulder blades draw back and down. Rounding through the spine, chin comes towards chest. Coming back to the midline. As you now open the hands, wide, chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger. Draw shoulder blades back and down as we inverse all of the forward bending in our lives. The natural position for the spine is one of extension, this slight back bend. Bending deeply at the knees, heels raise. Option to keep the feet on the earth or raise the heels off the earth as the fists and forearms come together, chin comes into chest. Inhaling, toes spread wide, fingers spread wide. Chest gets bigger, shoulder blades draw back and down. Exhaling as we make a firm fist. The fist being about the size of our heart. Right? We're sending blood to all the extremities. The blood of the heart pumps 260 liters of blood an hour. An incredible machine here as we really think about nourishing the heart here and helping with circulation. It beats 100,000 times a day. Making a firm fist, mirroring the contraction of the heart as it sends blood to the extremities, the systolic pressure, diastolic meaning open, opening the fingers wide, toes wide. Last one, heels raised, our option to keep the feet on the earth. Just know where you are today. Excellent. And then the hands and arms swing effortlessly around the body. We're not touching the torso just yet. Just letting the arms drift around as we release any tension in the shoulders. The arms have just done a lot of work. Again, there's no hurry. Nourishing breath through the tip of the nose. So we continue to breathe in and out of the nose. Begin to knock now, taking the fist to the kidneys and to the lung point. So we're tapping on the kidney in the back with the back of the knuckles, and we're tapping on the lungs. Just below the shoulder is the lung meridian and the kidney meridian. And speaking of blood, the kidneys demand the most amount of blood, more than the brain. It's the organ in our body that demands the most amount of blood. So here we're also stimulating the lung meridian, helping with any respiratory conditions as we swing lightly and lightly tap. And then slowing it down. I'll face this way so you get a better sense of the movement. As we send both hands forward, exhaling, hands come back behind us energetically. 2 strong, straight arms. Chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger. Bending at the knees and elbows, hands come forward. Exhaling, hands move back. Tai Chi opening. Bending at the wrists and elbows, hands come forward. Exhaling, straightening, standing tall, hands send back behind us. Spread fingers wide. Chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger. Inhaling. Exhaling. As we stand tall now with the hands back behind us, I invite you to raise the toes, spread toes wide, spread fingers wide, draw shoulder blades back and down. Exhaling. As we come forward this time, option to raise the heels, bending deeply at the legs. Inhaling, toes rise. Exhaling as we come forward, bending at the knees, the heels rise. This is an inhale, I beg your pardon. Exhaling as we send the hands back, toes rise. Inhaling through the tip of the nose, heels rise. Exhaling, toes rise. 2 more breaths. Heels rise, toes rise. Great way in which we can strengthen the quadricep muscles, our thigh muscles and adductors, the inside of the thigh muscle. Excellent. So we take the hands up in a clearing gesture, just releasing that last movement. Hands come down through the midline, about an inch apart, not touching, very slowly, as though they're moving through thick air. As we take the hands to the iliac crest, right at the top of the hip bone, and we're taking the feet now out a little bit wider. In fact, we don't need our yoga mat. The beauty of Qigong is you can do it anywhere, without any props. I'm back. As we take the hands to the hips, and I'll face this way again, just so you get a better sense of the movement. Nice wide stance. Right? We want to walk in a nice wide fashion as well. This really helps with our balance, our stability, helping avoid any catastrophic falls. And we're bending at the hips, so the back is one straight unit. We're not bending from the mid-back. The head goes no lower than the heart. Energetically tuck chin into chest and hold for a moment of bandha, a moment of clarity. As we stand tall, we begin to unfurl the neck, inhaling and then bending at the hip creases, exhaling. Chin comes into chest on a pause, a moment of stillness. As we stand tall, unfurling each of the 7 vertebrae of the cervical spine. Bending from the hip creases, head goes no lower than the heart. Chin energetically into chest. Standing tall, unfurl each of the 7 vertebrae of the cervical spine. In yoga, we believe that youth is in the spine. We want to fully articulate all 24 vertebrae of the spine. We want to move the spine in all 6 directions and draw it back into its natural position of extension as we stand tall. Think about lengthening out through the crown of the head And think about the eyes of the soles of the feet, an energy gateway into the earth, rooting down into the earth. 2 more breaths. Turtle drink. We draw inspiration from the animal kingdom, in this case, the turtle, the symbol of longevity. Excellent. Both hands come up in a clearing gesture. Hands come down through the midline. As we take a nice wide stance once more, perhaps even a little bit wider than hip width, shoulder width apart in our previous stance. As we take the arm out to shoulder height, we're going to come up along the top of the arm and we're tapping. You can use the edge of the hand, the meaty part of the palm here, to tap along the outside or the top of the arm, and then turn the palm up and come along the inside of the arm, tapping firmly into the lung point across the chest, and then outstretch the opposite arm and come along the top of the arm, along the inside of the arm, and then down the outside of the leg, and then along the inside of the leg up to the lower dantian, the agni, and then down the outside of the opposite leg. Tapping firmly, and then once more outstretching the arm, shoulder height, now smoothing, pressing firmly atop of the arm, out past the fingers perhaps. Hand flips up to the heavens as we press firmly along the inside of the arm, pressing firmly through the lung point. Arm outstretches, shoulder height as we move with grace. Meridian cleansing. Both hands press firmly down the outside of the leg, releasing trapped and stagnant energy. Inhaling along the inside of the leg, up to the belly and down the outside of the opposite leg. Along the inside of the leg, once more, outstretching the arm, perhaps going a little deeper into the stretch. Perhaps the hands travel past the fingers, pressing firmly through the lung point. As we access all the meridians of the body, down the outside of the leg, along the inside, exhaling, releasing trapped and stagnant energy, and then gathering energy. One more time. Beautiful all-round stretch, really. It gets every ligament, every muscle in the body. Nice way to relax too, bring in a sense of calmness and ease. Again, coming back to that effortless power as we take the arms up to the heavens. The hands come down through the midline in the clearing gesture. We come to a balance exercise, moving crane. Single leg crane. Take the hands and arms up to shoulder height. And we're bending the left leg, I'll mirror you, and the ball of the foot is on the earth. And then begin to bend deeply at the knee joints and at the elbows and wrists. Now, option to stay here. This is a fine pose, if this is where you are today. Otherwise, lifting the left leg now and raising the left leg and moving the left leg up and down. Find a point of focus, a drishti at the horizon line. Perhaps it's a point of focus, maybe 3 or 4 feet or 6 feet in front of you to help maintain the balance. As we move to the other side, moving with grace, raising the opposite leg. Perhaps that foot stays on the earth and you're just bending as we modified and showed the modification at the start. Otherwise, moving with a rhythm, moving like water. You think about water, its power, it's quite soft, but in mass, it's a lot of power and energy. We move with the currents, we go with the flow in life rather than battling the currents in our lives all the time. These actions help us perhaps inform our movements in life. As we come back, taking the feet now off, face this way, just for a sense of, so you can get a sense of the movement. A little bit wider than hip width, shoulder width apart with our stance. We're bending deeply at the knees and the back of the wrists travel forward, the arms come forward. Exhaling, standing tall, hands come down alongside the torso, the eyes of the palm, an energy gateway down to the earth. Bending deeply at the wrists and knees. Now that we have the pattern, let's introduce the breath. Inhaling as the arms extend. Exhaling as the hands come back down alongside the body. Now, the beauty of this practice is that we can make these modifications and just make it a very gentle practice, or we can challenge ourselves. Depending on where you are today, whether you want to unwind from the day. In America there, it's coming into the evening. So thank you for interrupting your cocktail hour. Here mid-morning in Melbourne, might want something a little bit more challenging for us. So I invite you as we take the arms forward now and bending at the knees to take the heels off the earth. Option to keep the feet on the earth. Then raising the toes, spread toes wide as the hands come back down alongside the torso. Think about extension out through the crown of the head in all walks of life. Toes raise, heels raise. Toes raise, heels raise. Inhaling, exhaling. And perhaps coming back to how Mary Jo was enforcing, or rather informing us of the breath, of lengthening the exhale. So as we take the hands down to the earth, the eye of the palm, an energy gateway, spread toes wide, lengthen the exhale. As you begin to lengthen, deepen, and slow down the breath. Inhaling a nourishing breath through the tip of the nose, exhaling out through the crown of the head. Heels raise, toes raise. 2 more breaths. Imagine flying through the mist of a mountain. If you close your eyes, it'll add a further challenge here to your balance. Excellent. As we come into Shaolin Punch, a really nice way in which we can gather energy. I'll face this way first, and then I'll give you a 3/4 view as well. So the hands face up at the hips, and we're in a goddess stance, or kibahachi in martial arts, or in yoga we call this goddess stance, or horse stance. As we gather a ball of energy and draw it back into the body. Opposite hand comes forward and the wrist turns at the very last moment. We know in martial arts for power that in the last moment, we want to take that turn of the wrist for maximum torque, that ease of effort. And gather a ball of energy, draw it back into the body. Wrist turns at the last moment. We're going right into your height of the solar plexus, right into the middle of the body. Taking a ball of energy and drawing it back into the body. Great way, if you're feeling somewhat less empowered, and you want some power in life, it's a beautiful practice to really gather strength and energy. Very young practice, young meaning the back body, the sea of energy, the male energy. Yin being the front body where we hold a lot of our emotions. We're going back and forth between yin and yang practices, gathering energy, and see if you can notice the difference in the quality of the energy in the practices. Here we've got I mean, that's really quite energetic and powerful. So we draw energy into the body. I'll face this way, just get a better sense if you're not seeing the wrist come back to the hip, the elbow tucks in, gathering energy. 2 more breaths. Wrist turns at the last moment. The very last moment. As we inhale, gathering energy. Exhale as we extend the arm out. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Both hands come up in a clearing gesture. Down through the midline. Taking the arms up once more, up to the heavens. Now begin to bend deeply at the knees. Hands come down through the midline. Inhaling, both arms extend up to the heavens. Then slowly down through the midline. Hands travel about an inch apart as we bend deeply at the hips. There's a slight tuck in the pelvis perhaps. Nourishing breath through the tip of the nose. Exhaling down through the midline. Coming back to hip width, shoulder width with the stance. The hands come back down to the heart. At about heart height, the hands come forward and up. Sending the hands out to the far horizon, shoulder blades draw back and down, and then back up to the heavens. Hands very slowly down through thick air, down through the midline. Palms face up to the heavens. So the hands are coming down to about heart height and then extending forward, out to the side, and then up. An offering at the temple. This movement is called slight bend in the knees now. We're moving in about a 70 to 80% facilitated training range, meaning we're, again, coming into just ease of effort, but we've got 100% focus. Two more breaths. All this arm work is fabulous for the heart. The arms are deeply connected to the heart. In fact, the greatest longevity of any professions is the conductor in front of the orchestra. The average lifespan is 94 years old for the conductor because he's constantly moving his arms. As we take the arms back down through the midline and just release for a moment, the hands blowing gently in the wind, the arms releasing. As I come to three-quarter view again, take both arms out to the side, keeping the right arm extended, bending deeply at the knees. Draw an imaginary bow right across the heart. Both arms come down in the opposite direction as we find a point of focus over the first finger. Draw an imaginary bow right across the heart. Set our focus right atop as we come into perhaps a deeper knee bend, a slightly wider stance, slight tap of the pelvis. Inhaling, both arms extend. Gathering energy. And perhaps for you, you're standing a little taller today. If there's any strain in the knees or thighs, if this is a bit too strenuous, feel free to just adjust. And again, I applaud you for knowing your own bodies. Last breath. As hands come up in a clearing gesture, down through the midline. Excellent. As we come to the final release, and we're just bending deeply at the knees and the arms are bending deeply, relaxed alongside the body. And we're exhaling and releasing any trapped and stagnant energy. Let go of any tension of the week, of the day, of the month. Anything trapped in the body. Exhaling, let it go. Releasing. bending deeply at the knees and perhaps even tapping the heels as we come down. And then coming into a more gradual motion, just gently moving the arms, closing the eyes, bending at the wrists, just the wrists and arms slightly moving down. As we take the left hand and making a fist with the right hand, we bow to one another, thanking ourselves for taking this practice and making the smart move today of coming to yoga and qigong, nourishing the mind and body, and all those that support our practice. Namaste.